Choctawhatchee. Jeans Floor Coverings High School Hoops. Presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd and Condon.
And from the teepee on the campus of Choctaw High School, welcome to High School Hoops. Tonight, a classic rivalry between two of the greatest rivals in basketball in Northwest Florida, have been for years, the Fort Walton Beach Vikings and the Choctaw Indians. Hi everyone, Dan Shugart along with Joey Davis, the coach, joining us tonight. Jeff Price taking the night off. He's got business to take care of. We're delighted to have the coach with us. Two teams right now, great rivals. We've done these games over the years. In recent years, maybe the last decade and a half or so, the advantage in this rivalry has leaned in Choctaw's way. But this year, Fort Walton Beach off to a terrific start, 12-6 on the year. Choctaw is 6-9. And Coach, we will let you start with Fort Walton Beach. The Vikings 12-6 under eighth-year head coach Chris Carswell, and doing with a lot of defense, and they're scoring a lot of points.
Yeah, that's right. Already, as you mentioned, 12 wins in the season, already surpassing last year's total of 11. Talking to Coach Chris Carswell, he says a big part of their success is because these guys really like each other on and off the court. And when you have a group that's united like that, you always have great leadership. And that leadership starts with senior guard Roger Starks. Senior's averaging 11 points, 5 rebounds a game. And with his size and athleticism, he's a tough matchup for any team. It's going to be a good one.
All right, Fort Walton Beach obviously with a veteran lineup as well, with a senior-laden lineup. Exactly the opposite for Choctaw. Under first-year head coach John Barnes, actually a Fort Walton Beach grad, is now coaching Choctaw. It's a young team with just 3 seniors, but some of the youngsters to look out for. Number 1 is Kedar Washington, a 5'11 freshman guard. They are expecting big things out of him. He had a terrific game against Washington earlier this year. 17 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists in that game. Also, Blaze Childers-Menser wears number 5. He's their leading scorer at 16.5 points a game. Only dressing 9 tonight is Choctaw, so they've got a few injuries and a little bit of a short lineup. But it's a rivalry. You never know what will happen. Joey and I will be back with the opening tip-off. Fort Walton Beach and Choctaw coming right up. All right, back in Choctaw, the Fort Walton Beach Vikings and the Choctaw Indians ready to tip it off here. Starting lineup for these two teams for Choctaw, starting Camry Johnson, a 6'1 senior guard, number 0. Kedar Washington, number 1, the freshman. Mike Collins wears number 2. He's one of the other 3 seniors on this team, 6'4. Reese Jones, Jr., can really shoot it. He wears number 4. And Blaze Childers-Menser, sophomore, their leading scorer. Jumping it up for Choctaw is Michael Collins, and it's batted out of bounds. It'll belong to Choctaw. Starting lineup for Fort Walton Beach. And number 1 is Roderick Starks. And Joey talking about him in the pregame show. Zy Childress wears number 3. Sean Simon 4. Number 13 is Christian Coley, 6-foot senior. There's a 3-pointer on the way from the corner, and getting on the board early is Blaze Childers-Menser.
First shot of the game, Pensacola State, 3-point shot. That's the way to start the game to Choctaw.
Pulling up, that's off the mark and out of bounds. Choctaw threw up an air ball from about 12 feet, did Christian Coley. So Choctaw will face the Fort Walton Beach pressure defense, little zone, full court zone. See if they try to trap it midcourt. Up at the top of that zone is Sean Simon, number 4. One of their most reliable players, number 4 in blue.
Yeah, one thing Fort Walton Beach is going to do is get physical for sure. They're a very physical defensive team.
Nice runner, and Reese Jones gets it to go. So great start for Choctaw. It's 5-0. Check that. I guess it's 4-0. They had I thought it was a 3-pointer in the first shot.
I thought so too.
And tying him up inside, that ball will belong to Fort Walton Beach. As Kyle Jones, 22 in blue for the Vikings, was tied up. Tied up by Camry Johnson. So 4-0 Choctaw. And a traveling violation. So Kyle Jones shuffles the feet, turns it over. And we'll probably see this for all 32 minutes tonight with Fort Walton Beach and then with the full court pressure.
That's right.
They have 224 steals on the year. 12.5 steals a game.
Yeah, big part of that's because of that press they like to set up. If Choctaw can take care of the ball, they'd be in good shape.
That's Kedar Washington, the freshman under pressure, gets rid of it nicely, and there goes Blaze and draws the foul. Blaze Childers Menser with the drive. Draws the foul on Roderick Starks. That's his first. And Childers Menser goes to the free throw line. Outstanding free throw shooter, 81% on the year.
He hits the first one.
So it is 6-0 Choctaw after the 2 free throws from Childers Menser. We're calling him Blaze for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot easier for us if we just called him Blaze.
Zy Childress with the ball, then gives it off to Starks. Down the lane he goes and draws the foul. Roderick Starks with the foul on Blaze Childers Menser.
Yeah, fun fact, Roderick hasn't taken a 3-point shot all season. He loves taking it to the rack.
And you go to the line to shoot too. He is a 42% free throw shooter on the year.
Off on the second.
Blaze did a nice job blocking off the boards, and then the rebound was tracked down by Camry Johnson. Kedar Washington to Blaze for 3. That one's off the rim, but rebound comes off to Reese Jones. Washington couldn't complete the drive, kicks it back out wisely to Mike Collins, and he can't finish either. Vikings off and running. Starks has it poked out of bounds and off Starks. It'll go to the Indians. Nice defensive play by Blaze Childers Menser defensively.
I'll tell you what, the freshman Kedar Washington has great poise right now for a freshman. He's a good-looking freshman for Choctaw.
Wisely dribbles out of that coffin corner area before he could get trapped. There's Blaze.
Yep.
Tipped up by Johnson. Again by Johnson. Comes off. And Reese Jones finishes.
Sometimes when you gamble on defense and go for the steal, you get a little burn, and that's just what happened.
Jones with 4 points, and Choctaw's off to an 8-0 start. Starks down the lane. Follow and score. First points on the night. Sean Simon gets them for the Vikings.
Big time offensive rebound for Sean. They're going to need more of that.
Washington goes right this time. And whistle and a foul, blocking foul, and Washington will go to the line. And the foul is on Sean Simon.
That's his first foul. We have the Coastal Vascular Institute free throws coming up for Kedar Washington.
Needs a bounce and gets it. It's a little bit of a springy rim up there.
It is, very bouncy.
But he got the bounce. He's an 84% free throw shooter. Boy, you love to see that in a freshman who, when it almost seems like a lost art with a lot of players free throw shooting, and you got a freshman who hits 84%.
Yeah, when you have a freshman starting at Choctaw, you can tell he's been groomed and played his game for a while. You can see it in him. He's also a great start so far.
10-2 Choctaw. We played just over 3 minutes here in the first quarter. Starks kicks it over to Memphis DeLong in the lineup, the sophomore. Gets it back to Leo Iverson. That's off the mark, but he draws the foul.
Yeah, not surprised to see Iverson sitting in the corner waiting for a three-point shot. If you remember, Dylan, his brother, was a real good three-point shooter as well.
They think, at least the feeling there is with Leo. Leo might even have a little more promise than his older brother, who is a heck of a player.
Really good play for Fort Walton Beach. Shot the ball really well. And Leo seems to be kind of runs in the family, I guess.
Fort Walton Beach 0 for 3 from the line here in the early going. And Iverson gets the second one to go. 10-3. Marchecki's got 3 to go, doesn't he? He was fouled in the act of a three-pointer.
Yeah, missed the first one, made the second. We're shooting the third now. There it is.
2 out of 3. And now they ramp up the pressure, does Fort Walton Beach. Yeah, Washington gets rid of it. That's Mike Collins out of the backcourt, shoves off Roderick Starks. Collins loses the handle, gets it back, and travels.
Fort Walton Beach showing a little pressure here. See if they can. Oh, falling back now.
Yeah, Choctaw backing off.
With 9 players, you really don't want to get in foul trouble. Try to stay in front of your man, play solid defense.
Iverson back out front to Starks. And Starks working on Blaze. And it's Jordan Lee, number 2 with the ball. Then down the lane it goes. Fall away jumper is no good by Jatavian Jones. And a foul in the backcourt. We will take a timeout. So that foul. And we'll take a timeout. 3:56 to play first quarter. Choctaw off to a 10-4 start here on High School Hoops.
You're watching Gene's Floor Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd, and Condon.
Nice crowd as we expect here at Choctaw all the time. It's a great basketball school, rich tradition. And even with this Indians team at 6-9 on the year, they've played well through stretches. They've been struggling a bit in the last 3 weeks or so. But losing the last 5 games they've actually played on the court. They picked up a win by a forfeit against Lighthouse Academy. Other than that, they lost the last 5 times they stepped on the court.
Yeah, if they can find a way to win tonight, that'd be a good momentum boost for them going towards the end of the season.
And Blaze with his 6th point, and it's 12-4. The foul, by the way, before that timeout was Jatavian Jones picking up his first before Walton.
Yeah. We're 5 minutes. Sorry, we're 5 minutes into the game and already shot 9 free throws tonight, Dan.
All right, Jordan Lee, who transferred from Choctaw to Fort Walton with his first basket on the little reverse layup. Mike Cooper, the offensive foul.
Offensive foul.
And taking the charge here was Leo Iverson. So Cooper. Iverson set up, good call. Foul on Collins.
Subbing in for the Indians is number 3, Jaden Rankins. See if he can give him a spark off the bench here.
Nice dish. Double team inside and banking it up and in. 3-point opportunity for Rod Starks.
Picking up the foul is number 5, Blaze.
That's his second. So, with 2:45 to play in the first quarter, the Indians' big offensive force here in the early going has picked up 2 fouls. Starks, short, rebound comes off to Cam Johnson. Losing the ball, Blazer, the foul in the backcourt. As committing the foul will be Reese Jones.
Kind of smart foul. Almost stopped that one about where Airmaster fast break there.
Yeah, that was Jordan Lee, the former Choctaw Indian, who was took a little hip check. He probably was off to the races.
There's no one out in front of him. If he got loose, he would most likely lay that one up.
So Choctaw's committed 5 team fouls, and that will put Jordan Lee on the line, where he is a 69% free throw shooter.
Something tells me Jordan Lee knew this was going to be a TV game. His hair looks really good tonight with those braids.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that.
These kids know. They know.
Menser, that's going to be an offensive foul. That's the 3rd foul on Blaze. Childers Menser picked up 3. And up off the bench is Mike Collins. And Childers Menser takes the seat after he picks up 3 fouls in the first 5.5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, Roger Stark did a good job of setting that up and drawing the charge, and I was really, really surprised Blaze was still in there with 2 fouls.
So he's got his 3rd, and he has 6 of their points and 3 of their fouls.
Yeah, it might put them in a little bit of a pinch here going into the 2nd quarter. We'll see how Coach plays that.
Starts to the floor, loses it out of bounds.
A little out of control there. Was looking at the ref for help, but turned it over.
Yeah, it's kind of incidental. Washington kicks it back out to Collins and back to Kedar Washington. 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Trap on Washington. Is that a foul called, or is it out of bounds? Foul. The foul is called on Memphis DeLong, the Fort Walton Beach sophomore. It's only the 4th team foul here in the first quarter, so Choctaw will inbound it one more time. And Collins inbounding it into the backcourt to Reese Jones. And he's picked up by Jordan Lee. Washington. I wonder if they might clear out to Washington at some point.
I mean, with Blaze out the game, they may have to go to
Block.
freshman. Big time
Starks. And the pass deflected. And again, and the chase is on. Fort Walton's going to get there. The play was made by Lee. And now a 3-pointer on the way. That's short. Rebound pulled off by Washington. That was DeLong with the 3-point attempt. Washington takes it.
Another block.
Batted back. That time it was DeLong. And
Fort Walton Beach trying to throw a block party here in Choctaw tonight.
bodies on the floor. Camry Johnson picked up his 2nd foul. And it will put the Vikings on the line with 1:15 to play in the quarter. So already a short Choctaw lineup. Only 9 players suiting up tonight. 2 players who might have. A couple of the sophomores they had. Caleb Rankins and Max Thomas played the JV game tonight. We knew Max Thomas was probably not going to play suit up with the varsity. We weren't sure about Caleb Rankins until we saw the JV game. Jatavian Jones will go to the free throw line. He is a 53% shooter. Free throw shooting's been a problem for Fort Walton this year. 58% as a team, which is well below what you would prefer.
Right now in the first quarter, they're currently 3 for 9 on the free throw line.
You could cut it to 1. Rebound pulled down by Jaden Rankins.
Reese Jones has pushed it up the floor.
Boy, I tell you, come off a screen and stepping out and forcing the play is number 1, Rod Starks, but he picks up his 2nd foul.
2nd foul. Something tells me he might get physical all night here defensively. But
Reese Jones to the line and doesn't get a bounce.
Free throw is good, and that gives Reese Jones his 7th point in the first quarter.
Foul on the drive there as Jordan Lee is fouled by Kedar Washington. Reaching in. And so it'll be Jordan Lee, 69% on the year, going to the free throw line.
Jordan Lee hits his first. Another Coastal Vascular Institute free throw. He hits the second one. Draw the game by 1 point, be down by 1. And it's good.
1 point ball game. Remember, Choctaw got off to that 8-0 start. And a timeout, Choctaw, 43 seconds to go here in the first quarter. It's a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it right here. And again, recapping, Choctaw scored the first 8 points of the game, but midway through the quarter, Blaze Childers-Menser, who had done much of the offensive damage in that fast start, went to the bench with his 3rd foul. And as you see, the Choctaw student section always full here and enthusiastic. But defensive pressure by Fort Walton Beach has helped them claw back in this thing. Make it a 1 point game, 13-12.
Yeah, Fort Walton Beach is known to put that pressure on teams, and I guess Coach Carswell's style, he sticks with it, and they do a really good job with it as well.
Here comes the trap again.
Washington
almost came out of the back court on that, which would have been a violation. And there's a foul on the trap. That one's going to be on Choctavian Jones. Fort Walton Beach over the limit. Kedar Washington, good free throw shooter, goes to the line.
First one's off. Checking into the game for Choctaw, number 13, Christian Coley.
One out of two. 30 seconds to go. Fort Walton down 2.
Choctaw to half court man-to-man. See if they can keep him out of the paint. Good help side defense.
Ball knocked loose. And there goes Reese Jones backing it in.
Not where Airmaster fast break. Great floater and finish.
The ball was knocked loose by Jaden Rankins to start all that. Jones finishing. Blocked by Rankins. Offensive foul. As Rankins got the block above, and I didn't see who took the charge below. I think it might have been Mike Collins. Yeah, it was. Collins took the charge. So 2.5 seconds to go. Inbound it. And it'll count.
What a shot to finish the quarter.
Isaiah Oates-White from midcourt. And it's 19-12 after 8 minutes. Choctaw with a 7-point lead here on High School Hoops. Wow.
You're watching Jeans Floor Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd, and Condon.
Yeah, what a finish to that first quarter. Isaiah Oates-White had just checked into the game and threw it in from midcourt. And the three-pointer gave Choctaw that 7-point lead. They scored the first 8 points of the game. The Vikings had pulled back to within 1. And with that little late flourish, Choctaw ends up with a 7-point lead after 1. And there's Kedar Washington.
What a move by Kedar Washington. And a little flex at the end.
Freshman's feeling it. 9-point lead is the Indians' biggest so far. And that's going to be a 2-shot foul. And the foul is on Mike Collins. So going to the line for the Vikings, Jordan Lee, good free throw shooter. Never fails.
Jordan Lee's aggressive to the basket, shooting his 6th foul shot here.
So Lee gets 1 out of 2, and it's a 21-13 8-point Choctaw lead. Remember, it was 8-0 at the start. Very close to the backcourt, but Washington had not established position in the front court. Camry Johnson with the ball. Oates-White dishes it off, and a strip and a foul.
Foul on Zy Childress. I believe that's on him.
That is on Childress. That's his first in the act of shooting, so that will put Jaden Rankins on the free throw line. 60% from the line this year. Jaden Rankins. Choctaw hit 6 of 8 free throws in the first quarter. Fort Walton Beach 6 of 12, so a lot of whistles, and obviously Fort Walton Beach's issues at the free throw line continuing here in the first quarter and now into the second. Choctaw misses a pair.
But grabs the offensive rebound. Kedar Washington smart enough to get it back out, see if they can get something set up here.
And losing it out of bounds. Mike Collins. Good job defensively with the Vikings shutting off the baseline, and Collins turns it over. I tell you, that was 22 Kyle Jones there. He heard the whistle, and I think the way things have gone, many trips to the free throw line as we've seen here in the early going, I think he's expecting the worst. Good defensive effort, good call. 21-13. Choctaw with that 8-point lead. Zy Childress has it knocked loose and stripped away, but Vikings retain it. Jumper from the corner goes. That's a 2-pointer by Kyle Jones.
Nice little jump shot from the corner. Both teams going to need other guys to step up. Choctaw has Blaze still on the bench, and Fort Walton Beach has Roderick on the bench, so going to be curious to see who steps up and try to help out in the scoring department. Isaiah
Oates-White's pass was a little too low to handle, and they turn it over. So once again, after falling behind by 8 and actually falling behind by 9, that's been the biggest Viking deficit of the night. The Vikings down 6 now with an opportunity to whittle away once again. Jordan Lee picked up by Mike Collins. Choctaw extends that man-to-man defense. Camry Johnson out there on Zy. And fumbled out of bounds, turning it over. Choctaw forces the turnover. Reese Jones up off the Choctaw bench, replacing Camry Johnson. Nice work defensively by Johnson. And now the full court pressure, though, ratchet it up a bit.
Choctaw does a really good job of being a help side.
Washington, you don't want to stop there in that corner.
No.
Boy, he got away with, he almost dribbled into a double team. That foul on Jordan Lee. Indians will inbound it. Out to Michael Collins. Collins out front. Gets it to the freshman, Kedar Washington. Picks up his dribble, back to Collins. Good pressure defense. Pressure man-to-man by the Vikings. Collins, though, banks it in.
Big time
Drive
finish.
baseline.
Big time finish for Collins. Just throwing to the basket.
Gordon Lee. And that is a blocking foul
Blocking foul.
on Jaden Rankins. And that was that in the, yeah, it was in the act of shooting.
There was spot on the floor, get dried up before they shoot.
Up off the Choctaw bench, ready to check in is Dylan Matern, his first appearance tonight. 5'11" junior. Cameron Johnson.
I believe Jordan Lee should be shooting.
He will. Yeah,
Stepping up to shoot first with the Pete Moore Chevrolet free throw. First one's good.
So Oates White and Rankins get a breather as Dylan Matern comes in and Camry Johnson returns to the lineup. He didn't get much of a blow.
Leo Iverson checking back in for the Fort Walton Beach Vikings. And here comes Mr. Roger Stark back in the game. Got to be careful not to pick up that third foul.
Kedar Washington.
Oh, what a move.
Oh, Kedar
What
Washington.
a move. He's a freshman, but he doesn't play like one.
Down the lane, Starks banks it up and in, and he'll go to the line. And the foul is on Reese Jones.
Basket was good. Roger Stark stepping up and shooting one free throw. I love his aggressiveness to the basket.
Three-point play for Starks. It makes it 25-20. Timeout on the floor, and we'll take it with them. 5:01 to play here in the second quarter. Choctaw by 5.
You're watching Gene's Floor Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd, and Condon.
5:01 to play, second quarter. Choctaw facing that full court pressure again. The Vikings have cut the lead to 5. And both teams, as we get into the second half of this one, will be dealing with some foul issues for sure.
No doubt.
Double team, almost spinning into it, was Collins. Now Kedar Washington shut off at the baseline, back out to Collins. Collins pulls up. Off. Camry Johnson flying in and keeps it alive. Good effort by Camry Johnson as he battled Starks for the rebound, and Johnson did just enough to get the ball to go off Starks out of bounds. There it is. Good work by Camry Johnson.
It looked like someone missed a box out assignment.
Washington trying to get around the baseline, get around the defense. Can't do it. There goes Reese Jones. Keeps the dribble alive and then turns it over.
Almost looked like the Harlem Globetrotters there for a second.
Yeah, except the Washington Generals ended up with the ball. Iverson. Iverson with a jumper. And the Vikings are within 3.
And that was a 2-point shot for Iverson.
Turn. Gets it back to Collins.
High dribble handoff here. Now let's see Kadar Washington if he even tries to create.
To Collins.
Great,
And
great
he'll draw
entry.
the foul.
Good pass by Kadar.
And the foul is on Kyle Jones.
Michael Collins stepping up to the free throw line.
Yeah, you can really see his influence. Talking to John Barnes about this team, and he said, Collins is one of those guys who's like 18 going on 27. Just a great level head, great deal of maturity about him.
Absolutely.
And you can see it on the floor, and how much the freshman guard Washington sort of relies on Collins for that steady hand.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple times already. A couple times where they come down, it's a two-man game between him and Collins.
Gets 1 out of 2 free throws, 4-point margin. Iverson over to Starks. Loses the handle. Washington loses it right back to Jones. And there's Iverson for 3.
Pensacola State three-point shot for Iverson.
And the Vikings are within 1. Washington. Check for Iverson now.
Oh, he's feeling it tonight.
We are tied for the first time since 0-0. Johnson. And a blocking foul before on the pass out. That foul is on Roderick Starks. That is number 3 on him.
Man, Roderick Starks with 3.
Trying to draw the charge. They called him for the block instead. Kedar Washington, the freshman, is one who drew the foul. Vikings have come all the way back to tie the game at 28-all. First tie since 0-0. Johnson traveled as he started his drive along the baseline.
I see a lot of kids struggling with that, catching the ball and making sure they don't put it on the floor before. Put it on the floor before they take a step. And I see a lot in many high school games.
So Jatavian Jones now out front, handling it against Kedar Washington. Washington deflects, and Reese Jones comes up with it. Oh, Washington cannot finish, but he draws a foul. That foul is on Sean Simon. Kedar Washington will go to the line. Vikings are over the limit. Choctaw's been whistled for 3 fouls here in the quarter, so they're still 2 fouls away from the Vikings shooting free throws. Washington misses the first.
As a coach, you always love when good defense turns into offense, but got to hit those free throws if you want it to count. Makes the second. 29-28, Choctaw up by 1 with 2 minutes left in the second.
Off the mark, air ball out of bounds to Choctaw with just under 2 minutes to go here in the half. Yep, this is what we pretty much expect from Fort Walton and Choctaw when they get together.
That's right, no doubt.
Full house, enthusiastic crowd, both teams well represented, both schools well represented in the stands, and the team's putting on a good show. Collins trying to dribble away from a double team. Oates White finds Camry Johnson inside.
Good pump fake.
Reese Jones had that shot blocked, and Jones tracks it down. Nice block in there by Zy Childress. And down the lane he goes and drawing the foul this time. No foul, out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Off Oates White. And it'll go over to over to Fort Walton. Vikings with a chance to take their first lead of the night.
You mentioned the crowd, and as a player and as a coach, you love playing in these type of environments.
That fall-away jumper, tough shot by Christian Coley. There's Reese Jones with it, shut off at the baseline. Finds Oates White. And gets it to go. Isaiah Oates White, a three-point opportunity for him with 1:08 to go in the half. And that foul's on Jordan Lee.
His second.
To a three-point play by Isaiah Oates White. And Choctaws lead back up to 4.
Pull-up jumper is off.
Cracked down nicely by Kyle Jones. Childress, that does not go. Rebound pulled down by Mike Collins. And now 43 seconds to go. It's an awful lot of time to hold for a last shot against pressure defense.
Let's see if Fort Walton Beach can get a count here. Here you go. Referee's counting 2. Yeah, Kadar Washington's not going to give it up too easily.
Childress on him. Washington drives through the double team, gets it back out to Camry Johnson. They're trying to hold it for the last shot, and now to 21 seconds. Collins guarded tightly by DeLong. Collins loses the handle and picked up by Iverson. So 10 seconds to go. The Vikings get a chance for the last shot if they can get out of the backcourt.
Let's see, Iverson wants this shot. He's made 2.
And banks that one in.
And he banks that one in.
And that'll end the first half, and what a first half it was. Choctaw opened up an 8-0 lead and held off the Vikings for the rest of the first half, but it's a 2-point margin at intermission. Choctaw leading 32-30 at the half. All right, Fort Walton Beach will have the ball to start the second half, trailing by 2. Choctaw scored the first 8 points of this game, led throughout the first half. They built a 9-point lead when they scored the first basket of the second quarter. That was the biggest lead of the half, and the Vikings got as close as 1, trying to get even, or actually got even at one point, and they're even once again.
No.
Kyle Jones scoring for the Vikings.
Choctaw leading scorer Blaze Spencer did not play at all in the second quarter, so for them to still have the lead at half is pretty impressive, and he's not on the court now, so coach is being very cautious.
Oates White turns it over. That was a nice steal by Jordan Lee. Lays it up, can't get it to go, and nice job on the offensive boards and scoring is Kyle Jones.
Big time rebound for Kyle Jones. If that kid gets a fast break, you'll see he can get up above the rim real quick.
And another near steal. Aggressive defense by Sean Simon there, double team, and now a foul.
That's on Zai, might be 3, nope.
That is on Sean Simon, his third.
His third.
First lead of the game tonight for Fort Walton Beach.
See what type of adjustment both teams made here at the half. A little bit of a zone.
Cy Childress runs it down. Starts. Rebound pulled down by Oates White. Here comes Choctaw. Oates White brings it out, coast to coast, loses the handle.
Oh, way to get on the floor.
And they'll tie it up. That'll be Choctaw's ball. And the alternate possession, the Indians will keep it. The Vikings trailed by as many as 9, and they just whittled away, and finally, here in the early going, the first minute of the third quarter, they have taken their first lead, 34-32, with the first 4 points of the second half.
We had 3 bodies on the floor there, Dan, and that's what I call a jeans floor covering dive on the floor.
That's as good as any. There you go. Now we need a jeans floor covering towel. All right. Ready to go inbounding it for Choctaw will be Mike Collins. Flips it into Kedar Washington. Isaiah Oates White getting the start of the second half here.
It looks like a little bit of a zone. We'll see.
Down from Vogue. They got it in there to Oates White, but under pressure couldn't get it to go. Good defensive pressure in there. I believe it was Kyle Jones inside. Childress loses the handle, has it almost stolen by Oates White, and that's going to be a hand check by Kedar Washington. Ty Childress inbounding it. Back to Jordan Lee.
He looks at the down screen for Rod, trying to dump it down inside. High screen.
Starks.
Floater,
Running
no
hook.
good.
Rebound pulled down by Collins. Johnson looked at a three.
Fort Walton Beach back in a man-to-man.
Jones.
Washington with the ball.
Up and in by Isaiah White.
What a finish with the left.
And we tied the game at 34. He's had two of the more spectacular baskets of the night. He hit that mid-court three-pointer at the end of the first quarter. Reese Jones for three.
Reese Jones with the Pensacola State College three-point shot to start the second half.
And Choctaw's back on top by three, so back and forth we go. We had no lead changes in the first half. We've had two here in the first 3 minutes of the second half. Starks down the lane.
Great cut.
And he'll have a three-point opportunity. And a foul is on Reese Jones.
You always coach your teams to make sure you don't let anyone cut in front of your face. And if you look at the Peter Heenan air replay, you'll see that Roderick has snuck in there.
Trying to complete the three-point play, could not do it, so remains a one-point Choctaw lead, and Blaze Childress-Mentors up off the Choctaw bench. Remember, he picked up those 3 fouls in the first quarter after he got off to a torrid offensive start. He's been on the bench since. A three-pointer. Washington.
That's the second time that Fort Walton Beach has changed defense their zone. And I don't know if Carswell's going to stay in it if Fort Walton Beach keeps shooting the three ball.
Childress hits the three. And that is a welcome sight for Fort Walton fans. He has really struggled from long range after a great start to the season. He has not shot well in the last month or so. Reese Jones down the lane he goes, and he'll go to the line as he draws a blocking foul. And that foul is on Childress. Reese Jones will go to the free throw line, 58% from the line. And talking about Childress as a three-point shooter, he's hitting only 20% of his three-point shots this year. 17 for 83. He's taken more than anyone else on the team with the exception of Leo Iverson. But Childress in his first 2 games this year hit 8 out of 21 three-pointers. He's hit 9 of 62 since before that shot right there. So he'd really been in a shooting slump for much of the season.
Yeah, hopefully this is getting him going in the right direction. And then I'll tell you, I just watched that Heat in the air replay, and Coach Carswell wasn't too happy with that block called, and I don't blame it too much, but Coach Carswell thought it was a charge.
Gets them both.
Gets them both.
The lead is back to 3 for Choctaw.
3-point game, and Choctaw playing half court, man to man.
Washington's going for the steal, came up empty, and then got a piece of that shot.
Great pass.
Washington got a piece of it. Reese Jones came down with it. Down he goes. He gets it to go. He'll go to the line. Reese Jones draws the foul from Kyle Jones. Reese Jones off to a terrific start here in the third quarter. 3:47 to play.
Yes, he is. He's not settling for any jump shots. taking it straight to the basket.
He's got 14.
Off the front of the rim.
Comes up with a loose ball. That won't go. Loose ball again. This time it's Oates White coming out with it. And he will go to the line with a chance for a three-point play.
Reese Jones coming up a little shaky here. Asking for a sub. He might be hurt.
Another foul on Kyle Jones. That's his third.
Oh, man. Looking at the replay, Reese Jones got stepped on. He's a sub here, be attended to.
Well, he's being helped back to the locker room. Reese Jones, who's been such a force here in the third quarter.
Yeah, really bad timing. Isaiah Oates White at the line with the Coastal Vascular Institute free throw. First, we got to get that floor dried up.
Offensive rebound, pulled down, and couldn't get it to go with Mike Collins, and Fort Walton comes out with it.
Carswell cannot be happy with the amount of offensive rebounds that's given up.
Childress again hits the three.
You called it, Dan. You said he might get hot.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take the timeout with him. 3:24 to go, and Choctaw's lead cut to 4 on high school hoops.
You're watching Gene's Floor Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel Shepherd and Condon.
Well, what a second half we had. The intensity ratcheting up. As we mentioned, Blaze Childers-Menser back in the ball game for Choctaw, playing with 3 fouls. He picked those 3 fouls up in the first quarter after getting off to a torrid offensive start and really being the key performer in Choctaw's 8-0 start in this ball game. And Fort Walton Beach battling back, taking the lead, but then Choctaw's answered. Washington gets the leaner to go.
Big time floater for the freshman.
$15 points for Kedar Washington. Iverson, he had the hot hand earlier. Rebound pulled down by Collins. Washington facing some pressure, finds Collins, his safety valve. Boy, he thought about a long three to Washington. Baseline, and that ball's out of bounds, deflected out of bounds by the Vikings. That was Memphis DeLong getting a hand on it, the sophomore. Choctaw playing without Reese Jones, and getting up the bench is Jaden Rankins, one of our Scholar Athlete honorees at halftime. Rankins wearing number 3. He replaces Camry Johnson. Reese Jones has not returned from the locker room. And when he went to the locker room, it didn't look good. So
no, he went limping and wobbling. Felt like someone stepped on him. Really do hope he's okay. Hopefully he's able to return back to this game.
Here's the camera shot of our James Roy. Here, and there's James Roy. Hockey season is James Waugh. He's taking a few charges down there, by the way. He will set up and take the charge. And get it inbounds to Oates White. Hands it back off to Washington, who's hounded by Jordan Lee. Washington, pass deflected, almost stolen by Starks. Menzer down the lane, dishes it off. Might have been better served putting it up. Can't get that to go. Comes down back with it. And he this time draws the foul. Battling on the boards is Childers-Menser, but he also got a big assist in there from Jaden Rankins, who kept that offensive rebound alive.
Foul was on Jordan Lee. That's his third. Big time offensive rebounds by Choctaw. Been a problem for Fort Walton Beach here in the third quarter. First one's good.
Childers Menser's first point since he made it 12-4 in the early going before picking up his third foul.
Sometimes as a scorer, all you need to see is that free throw go in. Might get him going here in the third.
Good free throw shooter, and it's an 8-point lead once again for the Indians. Childress has had the hot hand, and that's a welcome sight for Vikings fans because he hit a couple of long threes earlier this quarter. Childress Menser can't really guard him too tightly with 3 fouls, but Childress can't finish.
Choctaw trying to push it up the floor.
Final 2 minutes here of the third quarter. Washington gets it to Oates White, and he traveled.
2 minute steps there.
Just get a little excited, get the ball, and you see that opportunity to drive and shuffle the feet. So once again, Fort Walton Beach here, final minute 40 of the third quarter, trying to make a little run here to narrow the gap before we head into the final 8 minutes of play. That's Childress down low to Starks. Long three, Childress. That one's off the mark. Rebound, Karams to Washington. He's looking ahead. Gets it in a travel. On an awkward landing by Jaden Rankins. He was looking to kick it back out to the corner to Isaiah Oates White. And that pass wasn't there. He had to hang on to it and travel as he landed awkwardly. And he'll come out. Camry Johnson, the senior, replaces him. So Jordan Lee will bring it up. See if Starks does something to try to sort of reestablish himself here. He's been quiet offensively lately. Washington, he had it if he'd come down with a steal. He deflected it and tried to bat it forward. And by then, Lee was able to recover. 1 minute to play in the third. Lee. And a hand check by Kedar Washington. Picks up his third foul.
14th foul. One more, put him on the line. But yeah, you hit it on the nail. You hit it on the head, Dan. I think it's really important that Roger Stark get a touch here. He's gives it right here in the inbound.
And he'll go to the line. 3-point opportunity. Collins with the foul. Another 3-point opportunity for Roderick Starks. He has one basket here in the second half. And gets that one to roll in for the 3-point play with 54 seconds to go in the third. And it's a 50-45 ball game.
1-3-1 defense here by Fort Walton Beach. See if they get a deflection here.
33 seconds, back out to Oates White. And there is Childers Menser. That's no good. Rebound out of bounds to Choctaw. Again, Camry Johnson unable to control the offensive rebound, but he did enough to knock the ball off of Zy Childress. 26.8 inbound, and that ball is just saved by Childers Menser. 20 seconds to go.
Trying to hold for the last shot here.
Iverson on Washington. 8 seconds. Washington dishes inside, and they get the basket with 1 second to go. Washington handled that about as well as he could. Collins got the basket, and Choctaw takes a 7-point lead into the fourth quarter. 52-45 after 3.
You're watching Gene's Floor Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd, and Condon.
8 minutes to play. Reese Jones is out of the Choctaw locker room and back on the bench. We'll see if he's feeling up to playing here in the fourth quarter. He was such a factor early in that third quarter. He keyed a 6-0 run by the Indians that changed a 1-point lead to a 7-point lead. And then went out with an injury, went to the locker room. Did not look good, but he's back on the bench now. There's a travel. Shuffling the feet was Childress Menser. So Zy Childress will inbound it to Jordan Lee. Roderick Starks also in, along with Leo Iverson and Kyle Jones for Fort Walton. Iverson had a hot hand as well. Both Childress and Iverson have had real hot stretches. Childress down the lane, kicks it out to Lee. Rebound, and that's going to be a foul on Mike Collins backing out.
I believe that's his fourth if it is on him.
Yeah, look, see, he's hanging on there, and that's why he got the foul on Starks, holding on to Starks. He lodges a protest, but a good call. Inbound, rebound pulled down by Camry Johnson. And then faces the double team in the backcourt. Boy, Choctaw living dangerously against that press. Down low goes Collins and draws the foul this time. And that foul is on Kyle Jones. That is his fourth. So he's playing with 4. Collins is playing with 4. And a whole host of folks are playing with 3. Collins to the line, 63% on the year. 5 points tonight.
It's the first one. It hits the second one.
So he gets both. Choctaw 15 for 22 from the line tonight.
I have a good feeling that free throw's going to play a big part this fourth quarter.
Choctaw's has matched their biggest lead of the night, 9 points. Nice drive by Starks.
Big time finish by Starks.
He has 12, and he has to come alive here in the fourth quarter.
Seems like Choctaw's in a little 1-3-1 zone. Fort Walton Beach is. See how Choctaw responds to it.
Well, I think they might be able to burn a little clock if it doesn't turn into a trap.
Correct. Now they're in man.
Inside, and banking it is. Strong move by Collins.
Yeah, Roderick didn't want to pick up his fourth foul, so kind of laid off defensively and get Collins an easy basket down low.
Collins has 9 now. Camry Johnson tied him up. So Starks on the drive. Johnson, good help defense, tied him up. The arrow will keep the ball with the Vikings, but a good defensive play there by Johnson. Got his hands on it. He does at least earn the arrow for the Indians.
Yeah, Choctaw's done a great job all night being in the outside defense, making it hard for Fort Walton Beach to get into the paint.
Here's Iverson again for 3. I was just about to say when he's handling the ball out front, he had the hot hand early. He hadn't taken a shot since. But Iverson cans the 3 and draws the foul and a chance at a 4-point play.
Big time. Count the Pensacola State College 3-point shot. Chance to make it a 4-point play. Fort Walton Beach needed that to cut the lead to 6. See if he can make it down to 5.
And just as importantly, if not more so, the foul was on Michael Collins, and that's number 5 for him. So Collins fouls out on what could be a 4-point play, which could really turn things around. Or so it is Collins. Actually, for a second I thought maybe the foul's on someone else because Collins went back in. There's a little confusion there.
Yep.
And the official Caleb Donahue here is at the table explaining, no, I said that's not a foul on 5. That's the 5th foul on 2. And so he has fouled out, has Collins.
Bad news for the Indians is that Collins fouled out, but good news is that Reese Jones is back in the game.
4-point play makes it 56-51.
Takes a full timeout here.
Full timeout, we'll take it with him. 6:03 to play here in the fourth quarter. Choctaw hanging on by 5.
You're watching Gene's Floor Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd, and Condon.
All right, 6:03 to play. Choctaw's lead is 5 following the 4-point play by Leo Iverson, giving him 16 points on the night. He's gotten his points in a hurry. Reese Jones back in the lineup for Choctaw. There he is, looking none the worse for wear. Guarded tightly by Starks, and a foul on.
Might be on Starks.
It is not. It is on Jordan Lee. That's his 4th.
His 4th.
Yeah, trying to fight through that kind of screen. Inbounding it to
Jones.
Jones in the backcourt. And he'll get it to Washington. Has the ball knocked loose and a foul call. Late whistle. And the foul on whom? Iverson? It is on Iverson. That's his first foul. It is the second, or checked at the 3rd team foul on the Vikings. Inbound to Blaze. Spin move, but goes without the ball, and Starks has a breakaway.
Big time finish by Starks with the left hand there. You say he needs to come alive, and he might just do so with that basket.
3-point game. Choctaw needs a timeout. They'll take it. 5:15 to go, and the Indians call the timeout with their freshman in.
He was in trouble.
In some trouble in the backcourt, so they take the 30-second timeout to postpone the trouble. We'll stay right here, but Starks now with 14 points.
Yeah, he was in trouble in that trap, and Barnes had to burn that timeout, which just leaves him with 1 timeout left for the rest of the game. And he's going to need that one for sure.
Well, and
the game.
And with the pressure that Fort Walton's going to apply here in the final 5.5 minutes or so of a 3-point game, Collins picking up that 5th foul. He has been the safety valve. He's been the settling influence on the court, especially running in tandem with the freshman point guard. And so what kind of a factor is that for a shorthanded Choctaw team to have lost their senior?
Definitely.
Their senior leader, the 6'4" senior leader, who has really played well tonight and been such an important settling influence.
Yeah. I think in his absence, a guy like Isaiah White, who's had a solid game, might be the guy that steps up and fills his shoes.
Washington does not use the screen. Instead, he finds the man underneath.
Right,
he can't get it to go. That was Jaden Rankins missing the shot. The Vikings come out with it. I think he couldn't believe he was that open. He was expecting to get a challenge and rush the shot. Childress working on Oates White. Iverson, who just hit a 4-point play. And Starks. Starks finishes.
And 1. Heat in the air replay. Finish.
Foul is on Jaden Rankins. And so Starks with another chance for this would be his second old-fashioned 3-point play here in the second half. Cameron Johnson comes in to replace Jaden Rankins.
A made free throw would tie the ball game with 4:37 left. Pete Moore Chevrolet free throw for Roger Starks is no good.
Pressure in the backcourt. Jones just gets it up head to Oates White. And there's Blaze drawing the foul. Hammered by Sean Simon. That is the 4th foul on Sean Simon.
That's the risk you take when you press. If they get it to the middle and break it, you can give up a layup, and they didn't give up the layup, but he's at the line for 2 and trying to hold on to this lead here. 10 to 3.
And Childers, Menzer 81% from the free throw line on the year. Looking for his 9th and 10th points tonight. So he kind of buckled the knees right after he shot it. Knew he'd left it just a little short. Choctaw leads by 2. Childress looked like he might be trying to line up a 3. He hit 2 threes earlier. Starks instead, loses the handle as he goes up. Fumbles it out of bounds. Did it go off? It did go off Childers. Menser, I believe.
I know we talked a lot about the freshman today, rightfully so, but Blaze Menser is only a sophomore. And man, Choctaw has a bright future ahead of them with those 2 guys.
Lee can't get it to go, but on the offensive board. That's Christian Coley with the basket. Tie in the ball game.
In the third quarter, offensive rebound was certain Fort Walton Beach, and here in the fourth, it's certain Choctaw. He's Jones to the basket.
Blocked by Starks, and then he comes up with a loose ball. Big play by Rod Starks.
You called it. You said he needs to start stepping it up, and he's doing it at both ends. Right when they need him the most. Shorter lead to the basket. Spin move. And 1.
3-point opportunity, draws the foul from Kedar Washington. That's 4 fouls on Washington. So Collins is out. Washington has 4.
And Fort Walton Beach with the 2-point lead. 3:18 left.
Lee, Simon, and Jones each with 4 for Fort Walton Beach. Free throw, no good. Rebound pulled down nicely by Oates White.
Here comes that trap. Block. Jordan Lee's going to step up to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Reese Jones, that is number 4 on him as he's called for the blocking foul.
Blaze did not see that trap come and try to put it behind his back. Unfortunately for him, it went off the referee's leg, and Fort Walton Beach was able to capitalize.
Fort Walton has a 3-point lead. Their biggest of the night.
Depending on how this one goes, we're going to have a tough job choosing the player of the game.
Nice move by Oates White. 1-point game.
I'll tell you what, when Oates White scores, he makes it look good.
Childers Menser comes out with it, going coast to coast. Didn't get a good shot off. Here come the Vikings the other way. Washington with the steal. 2.5 to go. Oates White. Off blocking foul call on Fort Walton Beach. Iverson. So going to the free throw line, Isaiah Oates White down 1.
That was a bang play. Those are always tough to call, but Johnny, you saw something there.
So Isaiah Oates White goes to the free throw line. He is not a great free throw shooter, 59% on the year. Choctaw tonight, though, is 16 for 24. 67% as a team.
And we're shooting the rest of the way, both teams in the bonus.
One more to tie. Rebound and going the other way with it. That foul is on Camry Johnson.
Yeah, Roger Stark's going to be shooting 2 free throws here. Choctaw sitting with 1 timeout. Fort Walton Beach still has 4 of them left.
So Roderick Starks, who has 16 on the night. It's not really how many you make all the time, it's when you make them. Those fourth quarter free throws.
Correct.
One out of 2, it's a 2-point game. Jones along the baseline.
Hold up. Whoa! Big time shot by Reed Jones.
2-on-1 getting back.
Ty Childress on the break. Count the basket.
To go, and he has a chance for a 3-point play. Foul is on Camry Johnson. That's his 4th. Ty Childress with an opportunity for a 3-point play.
The 2 seniors stepping up when needed the most. Ty Childress and Roger Stark with big time fourth quarters here.
So Childress goes to the line. 64% free throw shooter on the year. He's got 8 points tonight.
Free throw's good. Timeout, Fort Walton Beach, full
timeout. 64-61, Fort Walton Beach leading by 3. And that is matches their biggest lead of the night. Choctaw's led by as many as 9. But of course, Choctaw playing without Mike Collins. He fouled out. He was a huge factor in this game tonight. Reese Jones had left in the 3rd quarter with an injury, but came back, and he's back on the floor. But Choctaw trying to fight their way back in it now, a little short-handed, and also trying to weather the storm by this Fort Walton Beach team, which is ranked 15th in the state and 4th in the region. As the Indians and everyone's, there are very few sitting in this crowd tonight.
Good crowd tonight, and this is where, you know, in practice you work on situations. Down 3, up 1, whatever it is that you guys work on, this is where it all comes to fruition for these players, and it's going to be interesting how this game's unfold here the rest of the way. I'm sure Coach Carswell's telling them not to foul, but let's see how aggressive they are here defensively coming out of the timeout, and let's see what type of adjustment Choctaw makes.
It's Jones and Washington, inbound to Washington, no trap coming, and he spins down the sideline anyway. There's the trap in the front court, and tied up. He is tied up, and the arrow will give it to Fort Walton Beach. So they tie up the freshman on the sideline. Coming up with a big play there. There's a Christian Coley is the guy who got his hands on it. So Coley's come up with a couple big plays here in the 4th quarter. And he gets the ball back to the Vikings. So they have the ball, a 3-point lead, and we're in the final 2 minutes of the game. Or regulation, I should say.
1% the game. Let's see how it goes here.
Lee. That won't go. Rebound, Oates White dribbling out of the backcourt. And that's going to be a foul as he's knocked to the floor.
Oates White going to be shooting 2 free throws here.
Foul by Christian Coley. So Oates White to the line. 59% on the year. He just missed a couple a minute and a half ago.
Stepping up to shoot these Pete Moore Chevrolet free throws. Now, you said it earlier, it's not how many you make, but when you make them. This would be the time to make them for Oates White.
Gonna need more towels. Isaiah Oates White shooting 2, down 3. Indians have missed 4 of their last 5 free throws.
Second one's
It's
good.
a 2-point ball game, 64-62 with a minute and a half to go.
If I'm Fort Walton Beach, I'm making sure Stark touches the ball here, and that's what Carswell may try to set up here, or run a little clock before you take one.
30-second timeout. Fort Walton Beach took it, which may or may not be a good time. With it, we're going to leave this game, but we want to let you know that we'll be back at it in about 2 weeks. We take next week off here on the Gene's Floor covering high school hoop series. Our next game, Thursday, the 22nd, Gulf Breeze at Milton, your old stomping grounds, Joey Nieves. We'll have that game for you next. And then we also, the next night, on Friday the 23rd, Pensacola High travels to Washington. Our first look at the Wildcats, PHS at Washington. Great rivals there. Girls game, Washington at Niceville on the 27th. And then we wrap up the schedule, West Florida at Catholic on Friday, January 30th. But we've got some business to take care of here with a minute and a half to go, and Fort Walton Beach hanging on to a 2-point lead. Throwing it up, rebound no good. Isaiah Oates White with the rebound. Therese Jones kicks it to Washington.
Ooh, very close.
Starts. Oh. Camry Johnson comes up with a loose ball and is fouled by Childress. 1:09 to go. Starts.
Good contest by Choctaw on the dunk. Just a nice dunk by Roderick, and I know he wished he had that one back.
And now Camry Johnson, who is just 3 for 4 from the free throw line this year, goes to the line with 2 big ones, a chance to tie it with 1:09 to play. Johnson, one of the spiritual leaders on the team. He's one of those guys that his coach, John Barnes, says is, you know, one of the, just a supportive of everyone around him. Just a great team player. Great attitude. Does a lot of non-stat things, but right now he's looking for 2 free throws to tie this game.
Well, we call those guys glue guys, and it's always good to have one on your team.
But right now it comes out of 2 free throws, down 2. And now a chance to make it a 1-point game. Still plenty of time left. They get Childers Menser to line up on the lane. 1 more free throw and a chance to cut the Viking lead to 1.
Second.
64-63, Vikings inbounded. Jordan Lee with the ball, guarded by Washington. Final minute.
Good defense.
And a timeout called by Fort Walton Beach. Chris Carswell. It's a full timeout. 50.6 seconds to go. The Vikings with a 1-point lead, and they have the ball, and they want to talk about how to preserve this 1-point lead and get out of here with a win over their arch rival. After hitting 13 of their first 20 free throws on the night, Choctaw is 5 for 10 from the line here in the fourth quarter. These games so often come down to that.
2 possessions ago, I think Carswell wasn't too happy with the quick shot they took, so he's probably telling them to try to run a little clock here, see if they can get fouled and get to the free throw line, but got to make those free throws, Dan.
The Vikings are only 4 for 8 from the line here in the fourth quarter. All right, Childress will key it in. Inbounds at the Coffin corner. Camry Johnson putting the pressure on Jatavian Jones. Jones goes by him. Back out to Childress.
On some clock here.
Childress. Timeout called by Chris Carswell, Fort Walton Beach. 32 seconds to go, so they burned about 25-30 seconds, and boy, the ball went in too. Childress.
It happens. Now it's his last time out, Dan. 0 timeouts left for Fort Walton Beach.
What a game we've had. This is, we were hoping, Fort Walton Beach is off to such a great start, and Choctaw has struggled a bit and hasn't won a game on the court since they beat Escambia December 16th. The offense had been a bit of an issue. They're averaging about 49 points a game on the year, 42 points during this losing streak, but they have 63 tonight. Man, they would love to get to 65, but first they need to get a stop here in the final 30 seconds or so. Vikings have won 5 out of 6. And 7 of their last 9. Inbound to Starks. Fouled by Menzer. And Starks will go to the line. So after picking up 3 fouls in the first quarter, Blaze Childress Menzer gets his 4th foul with 29 seconds to go, and it puts Roderick Starks on the line. 42% on the year. Two-point lead. For a 3-point lead. Camry Johnson with the rebound. Choctaw down 2. Reese Jones has it batted loose, out of bounds, off of Jones. Or is it off of Iverson instead? It'll stay with Choctaw. It did not hit Jones. I thought it had hit him. So that's a tough call, but a good one. And I'd like to see that one again if we've got it, Jack. Because it was deflected by the defensive player. And from our angle originally, it looked like it went off Reese Jones, but then from the replay along the baseline, it looked like it missed him. So Choctaw does keep the ball. Head coach John Barnes, 50. Here it is again. Thank you. Ball knocked loose, goes off the defense there. And nope, did not hit it. That's a great call.
Reese Jones did a really good job of staying away from that ball.
Look how calm John Barnes is in that huddle. All right, down 2. Let's see what Choctaw draws up and for whom they draw up the play. Remember, Mike Collins has fouled out, but they have Blaze Childers-Menzer on the floor along with Reese Jones. Taking it in is Kedar Washington. Isaiah Oates-White on the floor and Camry Johnson for Choctaw. They need a basket to tie. Jones gets it back out. Blaze kicks it to the corner. Three-pointer on the way. That's too strong. Offensive foul. That shot didn't count. The foul was called. And it's the 5th foul on Blaze Childers-Menzer. He drove and commits a charge. And there you see it. We didn't hear the whistle, so that shot would not have counted. 14 seconds to go. Blaze Childers-Menzer has fouled out.
What a big-time play.
Well, they have him for 3 fouls, but that can't be right. Foul was on Childers-Menzer. That should be his 5th foul.
Yeah, they're saying that.
The scoreboard has 3 fouls on him. We know that's wrong. He had 3 in the first quarter. So here comes. Okay, Jaden Rankins checks in, and Blaze wasn't coming out. He thinks it's 4 fouls. He had 3 in the first quarter. He picked one up about less than a minute ago. So I think that is 5. And he was questioning. He thought he had 4. Anyway, 14 seconds to go. Vikings have the ball against full court pressure from Choctaw. Choctaw needs a steal or get the ball back somehow, trailing by 2. And there's a steal. Washington backed it up to the 3-point line. Jones has it. Reese Jones against pressure. Hands it to Washington. 4 seconds. Camry Johnson. Oh!
Three-pointer at the buzzer.
You're watching Gene's Floor Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd, and Condon.
Well, we're back at Choctaw, where the Choctaw Indians have, it's a game for the ages. We've had a few of these. 66-65, Camry Johnson, a 3-pointer at the buzzer to win it. It was a great battle, great start. You had, you overcame some adversity, some injuries, a lot of foul trouble, but Coach John Barnes, you have to be thrilled with. I know you're a Fort Walton grad, but you're all Choctaw and all green tonight.
I am. I mean, it was to get a win like this in this fashion against Fort Walton is kind of like magical, you know. Shout out to Camry, man. Ball going his way.
I want to shout out everybody, though. My whole family right here, my whole team, though. I want to do this without them.
know, this team obviously needed a lift. It's been a rough stretch for you, and to get this first win on the court since the middle of December, to get it like this though, and not just the way the game played out, but the way you played to put yourselves in that position. What did that say for you?
I mean, it's something we've been preaching the whole time in those moments, just being able to fight and overcome and take adversity. So to do it in front of this crowd in that fashion is, I mean, I'm super happy, super grateful to be a part of it, honestly.
We know anytime these two schools get together, doesn't matter what it is, the intensity is going to be ratcheted up. You can't bottle this and maybe depend on it every day, but there was an intensity that your team showed tonight, whether just taking the lead or battling back as well. How do you kind of maybe take that and help it carry you forward?
I mean, I think for us, we were looking for something, and so this is something that we'll remember. Well, even if I gotta keep a little clip of it to just be able to tap into that energy, whatever we got to do. I mean, it was meant for us. It was what we've been fighting for.
It was such a great team effort. We have our Closets by Design player of the game, and I think it's for the first time in our series we can't narrow it down to one player. So the team is the player of the game, all of you, and I think that's probably appropriate with this group tonight.
Absolutely, I love it. The team is the player of the game, man. Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to talk to one player in particular because it comes down to Camry Johnson. Guys are keeping the ball alive to give you another shot. The ball comes to you, Camry, and you've got a little three-pointer, and it's going to win it or lose it. So take me through that play and what you felt.
How I felt right there, I mean, ice in the veins right there, I was just ready to shoot all the time, Love these boys right here. Yes, sir.
You didn't have much time, and it's probably better that you didn't have any time to think of.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I cut out, I saw the clock, I was like, I just got to get this up. And thankfully, it made it, man. All that work. Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations to you. Congratulations to all the Choctaw Indians. That was one of the great games we've had in this series. We've been doing it for 10 years, and it was a lot of fun for us. I know it was a lot of fun for you. Congratulations to all of you. And we have a little trophy to present to Choctaw. Over from the bottom. The Choctaw Indians, winners tonight on high school hoops, 66-65 over their arch rival, Fort Walton Beach. All right, for Joey Nieves and for our entire crew, our director Jack Canavan, producer Daniel Hemme, and the entire crew worked so hard to make this broadcast possible. Dan Shugart saying so long from Choctaw. In a thriller, the Choctaw Indians, winners over the Fort Walton Beach Vikings, 66-65. Good night, everyone.